The biggest mansion you've never heard of was once called the most beautiful home between New York and Chicago. Set on 3,500 acres of land, with nearly 1 million square feet of finished interior space, the property is sure to blow your mind. Hey guys, this is 360 Project. Hit the subscribe button and let's explore this extraordinary home. Ohio Columbus Barber, or simply OC, was born into a working-class family in the small village of Middlebury, Ohio. His father was a handmade matchmaker, and OC quickly got into the business. He dropped out of school as a teenager to sell matchboxes from a horse-drawn wagon. Determined, confident, and with a charisma that stood at over 6 feet tall, he became a partner in the family business before he turned 21. By the early 1880s, the Barber Match Company was one of the largest match manufacturers in the United States. In 1881, he organized a major merger, forming the Diamond Match Company, which quickly controlled nearly the entire domestic match market. In 1891, he founded the city of Barberton, with the dream of creating a modern community that would serve both industry and residents. Just a few years later, in 1894, he moved his main factory there, producing hundreds of millions of matches a day. These great successes spurred a series of new ventures. He founded rubber and steel companies, organized a fire extinguisher manufacturing business to deal with factory fires, and even helped found the Akron City Hospital. OC was a man who, when he saw a problem, immediately sought to solve it. From improving industrial processes to improving the health of workers. By 1905, he had turned his attention to a grander project, a scientific farm on 3,500 acres just outside Barberton. In 1909, he poured his heart and soul into building the enormous estate, Anna Dean Farm, named after his daughter Anna and her husband. Sparing no expense, he built 35 luxurious buildings, equipped them with the most advanced agricultural technology of the time, opened the grounds to the public every Sunday, and built a magnificent 52-room mansion with a glass-topped elevator. Newspapers of the time called it the most impressive house between New York and Chicago, which was an understatement. Hundreds of craftsmen worked around the clock, and the mansion took shape with astonishing speed. Within a year, the structure was nearly complete, with barely any scaffolding left for the artists to work on. Day after day, wagon loads of trees moved across the land until all that remained was to wait for the grass to grow. And now that the property is complete, let's start our tour from the entrance. Passing through the guardhouse, crossing the bridges, we will see the wonderful outbuildings appear. Given the vast area, we will skip some areas to focus on the highlights, starting with barn number 1. From there, passing through the flower and vegetable fields, we see 2 giant towers. Then barn number 3 gradually appears, with exquisite architecture down to every brick, where even the animals live in luxury. The ponies have their own stables, the pigeons have their own houses that can accommodate thousands of them, and the pigs are kept in a palace called the piggery. Even the ducks have their own pond area and department for healthcare and reproduction. Not just for the animals, the hundreds of full-time workers here also tend the fields, operate the flour mill, grow flowers in greenhouses to supply the villa, and operate the power plant to provide energy for the entire estate. After passing through many outbuildings, let's gradually move towards the main villa. From a distance, we can see the roof rising behind the trees. As we get closer, across the pond, the view behind the villa becomes clear, but we will continue to go around to the front to admire the entire magnificence of this building. Now, standing in front of the house with 52 magnificent rooms, before stepping inside, let's take a step back with 360 Project to admire its enormous scale. Opening the main door, we step through the foyer into the main hall, a space covered in stone, decorated with heavy relief motifs. On both sides of the wall are large murals depicting works by François Boucher currently on display at the Louvre. If you look straight from the main entrance, you will see a grand staircase with marble steps and a stained glass window surrounded by elaborately carved stone. Turning right from the lobby, we will enter the living room through the glass door. Stepping over a tiger skin rug, we will see glass bookcases along the wall, and above is an extremely elaborately carved ceiling. This is the largest room on the first floor, serving as both a living room and a library. Following the bookcases, we will come across a set of French doors leading to the solarium, which can be opened in the summer to create a cool outdoor terrace and warmed by a fireplace in the winter. Turning the other way from the lobby, we will see a fireplace at the end of the corridor. Behind it is the elevator and the entrance to the service area. To the right of the fireplace is the billiard room. To the left is the main dining room, furnished with items O.C. purchased from the St. Louis World's Fair. It's worth noting that this dining room is not completely separate from the breakfast room, where the family often had a lighter meal. The first floor also houses O.C.'s study, formal reception room, and servants' quarters. But the grand foyer is so alluring that one can't help but turn around and climb the grand staircase to continue the journey. On the second floor, the ceilings are a little lower, but the opulence is no less. Here, one finds O.C.'s master bedroom, the largest on the floor, along with his wife's bedroom, 3 other bedrooms, and a gym. The third floor has 5 more guest bedrooms and several bathrooms. But the highlight here is the ballroom, which is the same size as the first floor living room, where O.C. and his wife could entertain more than 100 guests at a time. Throughout his life, O.C. Barber was a prominent figure in the community. He spent his time running his businesses, hosting lavish parties, and initiating new projects. When he died in 1920, he wanted to turn his farm into an agricultural college, but his will was never completed. The estate changed hands and remained largely intact until the 1960s. At this point, the main mansion was abandoned and in disrepair. Plans were made to demolish it, but there was no way to save it. The furnishings and architectural details were removed and sold in a sale that attracted hundreds of people. The mansion was eventually demolished. However, the town of Barberton still bears his name, and several structures at Anodyne Farm remain as reminders of O.C.'s relentless drive and ambition. Barber, from matchboy to city builder. The O.C. proves that big ideas, fueled by persistence, can burn brighter than a match head. And now, 360 Project would like to turn it over to you. What do you think of Anodyne Farm? Is there a building or room that stands out to you? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes from 360 Project.